From Storm Tracker 6, this is your Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance for whatever lies ahead.
Well, quiet weather for the most part tonight. Just watching south of Detroit, a couple showers popping up this evening, but overall, rain chances done for the day. Highs today, 84 Lansing, 84 degrees in Jackson. Very warm and comfortable once again. The overnight forecast, 70s now, but 50s tomorrow morning. Much cooler start to the day. We've got pleasant weather on the way and some storm chances to talk about. 6 News at 11 starts right now.
Live from WLNS-TV, this is 6 News at 11.
I think Democrats win when we run on real solutions, not impossible promises. When we run on things that are workable, not fairy tale economics.
I don't understand why anybody goes to all the trouble of running for president of the United States just to talk about what we really can't do and shouldn't fight for.
Democratic candidates, both moderate and progressive, took to the debate stage in Detroit tonight to try and convince Michigan that they should be the next president of the United States. It's our top story tonight at 11. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones. This was the first night of the second round of debates for the crowded field of Democrats eager to take on President Trump in 2020. Our Aaron Jordan was in Detroit at the historic Fox Theater to hear what they had to say.
Much of the first part of the debate was spent discussing immigration and health care, specifically if the policies would be too far left and would allow President Donald Trump a second term.
Medicare for All is comprehensive. It covers all health care needs for senior citizens. It will finally include dental care, hearing aids, and eyeglasses.
But you don't know
Second
that.
of all.
You don't know that,
Second
Bernie.
of all.
We'll come to you in a second,
I do know, and I wrote the damn bill.
We have a choice. We can go down the road that Senator Sanders and Senator Warren want to take us with bad policies like Medicare for All, free everything, and impossible promises that'll turn off independent voters and get Trump reelected.
As for the immigration issue, Senator Elizabeth Warren and South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg want to decriminalize it, but Montana Governor Steve Bullock says it doesn't have to go that far.
The biggest problem right now that we have with immigration is Donald Trump. He's using immigration to not only rip apart families, but rip apart this country. We can actually get to the point where we have both safe borders, where we have a path to citizenship, where we have opportunities for dreamers. And you don't have to decriminalize everything. What you have to do is have a president in there with the judgment and the decency to treat someone that comes to the border like one of our own.
While most of the topics were national, the Flint water crisis was discussed. Senator Amy Klobuchar talked about her plan to prevent that type of crisis from happening again.
I would put $1 trillion into this, and I would pay for it by, first of all, changing the capital gains rate, by doing something when it comes to that regressive tax bill that left everyone behind.
This isn't the end of the debate. 10 more candidates will take the stage tomorrow night. We're going to head back inside to get reaction to tonight's debate. You'll see that tomorrow on 6 News This Morning. Here for you in Detroit, Aaron Jordan, 6 News. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Aaron. I'm joined now by our Capitol correspondent, Tim Skubic, for some analysis of tonight's debate. What is your first takeaway from these candidates?
Sure, here's a simple analysis of this debate. We saw nothing on the Fox stage tonight that changed the dynamics among these 10 candidates. The two frontrunners among those 10, Ms. Warren and Mr. Sanders, they remained there. Nobody put a glove on them. But here's the dirty little secret. This is a little more complex. The Democrats don't want to talk about this, but their party is divided. And those sound bites that you heard here underscore that in the clearest terms. It's the realists on one side and the idealists on the other side, and they are fighting for the soul of the Democratic Party. And this is not a new story. Hillary Clinton, when she got the nomination, remember Bernie Sanders supporters, we wondered, will they support Hillary Clinton? Gretchen Whitmer had exactly the same problem, a divided party. She ran against two guys, very progressive. She was middle of the road, she won. The middle of the roaders are going to say, there's evidence, folks, with Ms. Whitmer, that we need to be out in the middle and not on the far right and left, rather. And if we are, we're going to hand the election to Mr. Trump. It's a fascinating story, and it could be round 2 tomorrow night of the same thing.
Right, 10 more candidates tomorrow.
Yeah. One other point. They probably were not involved in this, but this was an audition for a cabinet post tonight among all the guys and ladies who are not going to get the nomination. I'm sure there were poobahs in the Democrat Party saying, you know what, they were pretty good. They're not going to be president, and they could be energy secretary, they could be blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah. So the de facto audition tonight for some of these candidates that aren't going to make it to the White House.
All right, interesting. We always appreciate your insight.
And I appreciate yours, too.
All right, thank you very much, Tim.
Okay, sure.
Well, remember, this was the first of 2 nights of the debates in Detroit. Tune in tomorrow. We'll have full coverage and reaction from the second night of the debate, both on air and online at WLNS.com. The Lansing Police Department has completed its internal investigation of a controversial arrest of a teenager more than a month ago. The department announced today the officers involved will not be fired, as some in the community were calling for. Officer Lindsay Howley, who was the one who struck the teenager, will be suspended for 3 days without pay. She and the other officer on scene will also have to complete 10 hours of additional training.
These were not mistakes of the heart. They were mistakes of inexperience. One incident does not define these officers. One incident doesn't define this department.
Chief Mike Yankowski will retire tomorrow. Captain Darrell Green will take over as acting police chief, and Lansing Mayor Andy Shore has recommended Green for the job permanently. In the meantime, in Jackson, several gunshots were fired this afternoon on the south side of the city, and tonight police are investigating. The call came in just before 3 o'clock near the intersection of Greenwood Avenue and High Street. Our media partners at the Jackson Citizen Patriot are reporting that the officers responded to the area and found several bullet shells at the site. No injuries have been reported and no arrests have been made so far. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel is one of 20 state attorneys general who sent a letter to Congress today urging even more action to clean up PFAS contamination. PFAS are toxic chemicals left over as industrial waste or from high-grade firefighting foam. They've been found in the soil and water of dozens of sites around Michigan. Congress has already taken some action to help states clean up those sites, many of which are the result of nearby airports and military bases. Now Nessel and other AGs who wrote the letter are calling for even more action, including designating PFAS as hazardous substances, increasing reporting requirements for companies that use them, and prohibiting the use of PFAS foam on military bases. Nessel says Michigan is taking on PFAS head-on, and similar efforts are needed on a national scale. Well, tonight at 6, we told you that former university president Luanna K. Simon will retire at the end of next month. Simon resigned as president of the university in January of last year, but she has remained an employee of MSU. According to her agreement with the university, Simon will receive almost $2.5 million over the next 3 years, as well as other benefits. Her retirement agreement also says she will not sue Michigan State University. A judge will decide later this year whether Luanna K. Simon will stand trial for 2 felonies and 2 misdemeanors linked to the investigation of the Larry Nassar scandal. Well, lots of parents want their children to keep active during the summer, but the kids at Grand Woods Park in Delta Township took things to the next level today.
On your mark, get set, go!
It was the 7th annual Kids Mud Run. That's a mile-long track that had obstacles, including a hay climb, an over-under wall, several mud pits, and even a balance beam to cross. Now, parents even got in on the action, as each child could ask a parent to run along with them.
You know, there's all kinds of fun mud runs for like adults. There's a Tough Mudder and all of those different things, and there's really nothing for the kids. You know, they'll have small ones on the side at the events, but we kind of wanted to make this for the kids in this beautiful park, and we just kind of went from there with our crew.
The event gave kids a serious challenge, but it could have been even more difficult because this event was going to be held rain or shine.
This is Weather First from Storm Tracker 6, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance for whatever lies ahead.
Well, I suppose that just would have made it a really muddy run, but we didn't have any rain out there. In fact, it was really a nice evening. Our social tracker capturing this shot from Ron near Grossbeck Golf Course. A nice day out for some golf and a nice evening for a walk out by the golf course. Emily capturing pretty much the same thing as the sun's heading down. Beautiful sunset. As far as where I was on dinner break tonight, was out with my daughter and the 4-H crew out at the Ingham County Fair, walking around with some of the girls, enjoying a nice night out tonight. It was just beautiful outside. So we look at the satellite and the radar. No threat of any thunderstorms or showers tonight. Closest to us is right along the state line, pushing away from the area. Our temperatures still fairly mild, 71 for Lansing compared to 67 in Charlotte. Hastings 65 degrees, mid to upper 60s in Ionia, but still very comfortable all across the area. Our live conditions in St. John's, 69 degrees, a high today of 82. The morning low only down to 67, so we're actually pretty close to that number, just kind of a sign that it will be a cooler night across the area. 69 currently in Grand Ledge, high today of 82 degrees. WLNS Tower Cam, 73 the current temperature. High temperature today at 83. On the Jackson Cam, we're still sitting at 70 degrees, pretty mild outside, high of 84. And here is the Hillsdale Tower Cam. Temperature in the upper 60s, high of 83, and the morning low only 1 degree different at 68 degrees. Precision cast, high pressure will be building in, so through tomorrow morning, few clouds around. That should be about it. As we move through the afternoon hours, that high continues to slowly work its way into the area, so the best chance of showers tomorrow afternoon should be south of the state line. As we move into Wednesday night, high kind of centers itself right over the state, so by Thursday morning, all quiet with the area of high pressure, which means sinking air in the atmosphere, suppressing any thunderstorms. Yes, it does begin to move west by Thursday evening, and as we move into Thursday night and Friday, as long as it's close by, the weather looks pretty good, and it's not really going anywhere, so we have got beautiful weather on the way for Friday morning and Friday afternoon, with the closest showers and thunderstorms across the UP, and that's where it should remain, looks like, until maybe Sunday, an isolated shower, but a better chance moving in Monday and Tuesday. Tonight's forecast, your low 57 degrees, just a little bit below average, partly cloudy skies tonight. Wednesday's forecast featuring a lot of sunshine, comfortable humidity, and highs just perfect in the upper 70s, close to 80 degrees. Check out the numbers in your 6-day forecast. 80 the high temperature as we head into Thursday, 83 on Friday. Mid-80s Saturday and Sunday. This rain chance is slowly ramping up just a little bit Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But as we move into Wednesday, that clears out. Cooler temperatures return. A few more showers and storms possible next Friday and Saturday.
Looks great, though, really, for this time of year. Beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we got the Ingham County Fair, Jackson County Fairs coming up. It's fair season, so we want some fair weather.
Yes, we do. Bring them to Ingham, as they say.
You got it. I love
Thanks, David. Still ahead on 6 News. Police have released new details about that deadly shooting in California, but they're still looking for the shooter's motive. We'll have the latest when we return. Thanks for watching 6 News at 11. Investigators are still hard at work in the city of Gilroy, California, trying to figure out the motivation behind yesterday's deadly shooting at the town's annual Garlic Festival. As Chris Martinez reports, police have also identified the 3 people who were killed.
Investigators are making progress as they learn more about 19-year-old Santino William Lagan, who carried an assault-style rifle into the Gilroy Garlic Festival and opened fire.
We continue to try to understand who the shooter is, what motivated him, and if he was aligned with any particular ideology.
The FBI is in the process of examining Lagan's social media accounts, phones, and computers. The alleged gunman shot more than a dozen people, leaving 3 dead before officers killed him. Investigators say 3 weeks ago, the suspect legally purchased an AK-47 style assault rifle in Nevada. Sunday afternoon, he walked about a half mile from his car to the festival, where he cut through a fence. That day, he had posted at least 2 images to Instagram, one showing the fairgrounds and another that referred to an author with white nationalist views and contained a derogatory reference to mixed-race people. Police say it appears Lagan went shopping around town just ahead of the shooting.
And in every single one of those cases, we've been able to retrieve video, and he was by himself.
The chief says investigators found a second weapon, a shotgun, in the suspect's car and a bag of ammunition in the creek near the festival. Investigators are urging anyone who captured video of the scene with their phones to step forward. Chris Martinez, CBS News.
Now, the gun shop in Nevada where Lagan ordered the rifle posted online that it was heartbroken over this tragic shooting. The Post also said Legan ordered the weapon online and showed no signs for concern when he picked it up. Coming up on 6 News, a new bill in Washington would amend the U.S. Constitution to overturn the controversial Citizens United decision. We'll have the latest from D.C. when 6 News returns. We told you earlier tonight about the Democratic debate in Detroit, and one of the topics brought up by several candidates is the Supreme Court's Citizens United decision. That's the one that allowed a lot more political spending in America. The candidates say they want to overturn that decision, but they might not get a chance because Democrats in Congress have introduced a new bill to update the Constitution in a bid to get the money out of politics. Trevor Shirley has the details on that effort in Washington.
And we're here today to take our democracy back.
Democratic Senator Tom Udall says the country needs a constitutional amendment to get big corporate money out of politics.
The big money interests are buying our democracy.
Standing in front of the Supreme Court, Udall and other Democratic senators called for the passage of the Democracy for All amendment.
Few decisions in the 200 and some odd years of this republic have threatened our democracy like Citizens United.
Citizens United was a 2010 Supreme Court decision that corporations have the same right to free speech as individuals. It paved the way for large corporate donations to flow nearly unchecked into political campaigns. Democrats say much of that is dark money from unknown donors and sometimes from overseas.
This idea that the wealthy and powerful can control our government and have far more say than the average citizen is eroding faith in this great and grand democracy.
But a constitutional amendment requires support from at least 2/3 of the House and Senate, then must be ratified by 3/4 of the states.
Constitutional amendment is a long shot. Are you confident that you can get that? Is this more of a symbolic?
I'm confident that the people of this country are overwhelmingly on our side.
And while an amendment like this probably goes nowhere, supporters here say they'll continue to push for its passage. Reporting in Washington, I'm Trevor Shirley.
Well, Audrey joins us now, filling in again for Fred tonight. But boy, 5 former Michigan State athletes, they received some great news today.
Yeah, Sherry, the Hall of Fame, I should say, has called, as in the Michigan State Athletics Hall of Fame. We'll tell you which Spartans make up the 2019 class. And speaking of Spartans, a few current ones were flying high at Aim High tonight in the Moneyball Summer League Pro-Am. It's the final week, too, so you know these highlights are going to be on point. See you then.
This is the LaFontaine Automotive Group 6 Sports Desk.
Now that bragging rights are on the line, aka a championship, the Michigan State basketball players have changed their whole demeanor out at Aim High in the Moneyball Summer League Pro-Am. Of course, it's still about having fun, but you can tell they've turned it up a notch. It was quarterfinal night, and the first matchup featured Xavier Tillman's squad Team Roots versus Cassius Winston's Team Cosmic, and there's Tillman putting on an early show with the one-handed slam. Winston says, "I think I have a response to that." Shows everyone at Aim High why he was named the Big Ten Player of the Year last season with that lay-in, and 1 for 2 of his 16 points. And there was more where that came from. Knocks down the fadeaway Jay. That's why they call him Cash Money, folks. Spartan freshman Malik Hall also putting in work, drives inside and kisses it off the glass for the bucket and the foul. Just seconds remaining now. Team Cosmic down by 3, and former Lansing Everett star Jermaine Jackson sends this baby into overtime. What a 3. But Team Roots would prevail thanks to big man Tillman and his 35 points, which means Roots is on to Thursday's semifinal, 106-100 the final.
How fun was that game?
Very intense. It was great. I was disappointed they hit the overtime shot on me to go into overtime, but it was a great game.
You're about to play for a championship. You're going to the semifinals, so how exciting is that?
Very exciting. I went to the semis my sophomore year, lost to Aaron and Kenny. I remember I lost to Aaron and Kenny, only had like 18 points. So I'm on a mission this year to win the championship.
Definitely want to win everything that you're a part of, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's play a game called Where's Winston? Sherry, David, can you find him? He's in the middle of the crowd somewhere. This is what happened as soon as he stepped off the floor. And because when one game ends, people can walk right up to any player they want and ask for a picture or an autograph. And as you can see, Winston was without a doubt the fan favorite this evening. All right, moving on to the second game, and the highlight of this one was Mr. Matt McQuaid. The former Spartan guard was dishing out his John Hancock too. McQuaid was up against Marcus Bingham's team, and hey-yo, there's Bingham himself getting silly above the rim. Nice two-handed jam. Cueto, of course, had an answer, drives inside, gets 2 points of his own, and maybe we should call Bingham Air Bingham this year. Gets it done with the alley-oop slam. Citron advances, and it was 98-80 the final in this game. A former MSU men's basketball star learned some exciting news today. Mike Robinson is one of 5 Spartans elected to this year's 2019 Michigan State Athletics Hall of Fame class. So who are the other 4? Track and field sensation Karen Dennis is one, along with wrestler Tom Milkovich. Football's Dan Bass is in this class, as well as hockey's Mike Donnelly. To this day, Donnelly's 59 goals during the 1985-86 season is still the most by any player in the NCAA. There's been one who's reached 50, and nobody has recorded more than 52. Oh, and when you think about all those goals, there is, of course, one that stands out above the rest, and that's his game winner in the 1986 National Championship game. Congratulations to all of them. We're just going to keep this MSU-themed sportscast rolling because we found out the MSU men's golf team is going here on August 17th for an entire week. Here being Scotland. This is the new trend in college athletics to go overseas. It's kind of like studying abroad in a way if you think about it. So why Scotland?
It's the home of golf. I mean, they've been playing golf in Scotland since the 1400s. These guys have been playing every day their whole lives. They got to learn the history of our game and how it grew to this, you know, and all the things we have now. And we had a relationship there with the University of St. Andrews. I know their coach. We're going to play their team a little match and just enjoy ourselves. This is an experience none of them have had, not an experience a lot of teams get to have, and they're going to learn a lot of new things. They're going to watch their coaches drive on the wrong side of the road. We're going to eat bizarre food. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be quite an experience for them, and hopefully they take some pictures of the bizarre food that they eat, right, Sherry?
I think you should ask for an overseas assignment. We're going to be back with a final look at your forecast. It's nice right here at home, though. David will be back after the break. Well, this is a sweet-looking forecast.
Oh, man, outdoor activities, whatever it is, it looks good. Here's the 6th day. Golf tomorrow, sure. Going out to the
we
fair.
are actually, Audrey.
Yeah, we are. We're golfing tomorrow.
Well, guys, so I'm not invited. Wow. 79 tomorrow, 80. I want to go sulk on Thursday, Friday, 83 degrees. I'll organize my own golf game on Saturday at 84. How about that?
You're not going to invite us, huh?
No.
I'm going to
Jeez,
invite Fred.
we got iced out.
80s on Sunday and Monday. Chance of showers increasing by Monday, and then the 6 plus 6 day forecast. Tuesday's the best chance. A few showers maybe Friday and Saturday of next week, but the temperatures look very pleasant for golf or whatever else you're going to be doing outside.
Your name is on the next charity outing.
Okay.
Sure.
Fine.
Right?
Promise.
Right.
Yeah.
We do. Maybe you too.
Fingers crossed, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for staying up late with us. Stephen Colbert is up next on WLNS. Have a great night.